It's February 9th. JLD here, and welcome to MSTR Today in the Treasury Titans. And nothing in this video is financial advice, but once again, Michael Saylor bought Bitcoin. We knew it from yesterday. We didn't know how much. Of course, with the brutal drop yesterday, nobody expected that much, and we still got over 1,000 Bitcoin, over 1,100 Bitcoin to be exact. So Strategies acquired 1,142 Bitcoin for $90 million at $78,815 per Bitcoin. As of 2/8/2026, we hodl 714,644 Bitcoin acquired for $54 billion at 76,000 per Bitcoin. And one thing that I will say is Michael Saylor did not tap the ATM on the day that MSTR was rip-roaring up 26%. So it just goes to show you, they will pick and choose. They probably knew that the stock needed a little bit of just of a breather to run. And of course, up 26% is quite one of those breathers. But this team has it dialed in. They know when to tap the ATM. They know when not to tap the ATM. They just have figured this out. And if you don't understand that, you should not be investing in strategy, because that means you don't understand the strategy. You don't trust Michael Saylor, Fong Lee. You don't trust the strategy team. And that's not a place that an investor should be. I completely trust what they've created, the systems, the processes, to actually buy Bitcoin. So I trust that. And when they buy Bitcoin, I know that it's not affecting the share price. And that when they do buy Bitcoin, or I should say, when they don't buy Bitcoin, it's specific because they know that this is not the time to do it. Let's have this stock run a little bit, maybe squeeze some of those shorts out there. And I think when Strategy's up 26% in one day and Bitcoin's up 9% in change, that some of the shorts probably got a little squeezed there. So time will tell what's going on. But Michael Saylor just wants us to know that MSTR is most interesting. How's it most interesting? Well, the open interest market cap, 85.8% for MSTR. You want to be interesting. Boring will put you out of business. Be interesting. Volatility is vitality. This is the company that you signed up for when you invested in MSTR. If you don't want to be on this ride, I totally get it. I want to be on this ride because, frankly, I am so positive and confident about where we are going to be in 5 years, in 10 years, in 20 years, that I just can't wait. I mean, honestly, I hope I'm still doing those videos then, because I'm just gonna be able to refer back to these times and be like, man, if you hodled with me back then, you are a champion. You are a warrior. You deserved everything that you got and more. Tesla's interesting. Meta, NVIDIA, very much less so as it goes on. And again, Michael Saylor is going to continue to do what he needs to do to keep MSTR interesting. Strategy buys 1,142 or more Bitcoin. Remember all the clowns who said there would be forced selling? Worst day for Bitcoin in over 4 years, and they still bought $90 million worth. Sounds like forced buying to me. Again, these clowns, they just don't get it. And that's okay. Not everybody should get it. And because if everybody did get it, there wouldn't be the opportunity to buy strategy in the low 100s. But here we are having that opportunity. The structure is absolutely unassailable. Period. End of story. Chris has the exact ATM proceeds, nothing from the preferreds, then MSTR just about $90 million. And if you go ahead and crack into here, you see that here we have the updated charts, a big white nothingness. And then, of course, we have this here for the weekly MSTR ATM proceeds, still bringing in the dollar bills, y'all. Let's go. All right, let's move on over to Adrian, who says, very happy Monday and good morning to everyone. It's Corn Day. Strategy acquired 1,142 Bitcoin and now hodls 714,644 Bitcoin. The Bitcoin purchase was made via the MSTR ATM offerings. And there you have it. And then, of course, Rohan says, unstoppable force up and to the right. Another plus 1,142 Bitcoin acquired. And unlike other charts, in my opinion, in my true honest belief, this is going to be that one chart that only goes up and to the right. The stock price is not going to go up and to the right. There's going to be drawdowns and absolute pullbacks in the future for sure, as we've been experiencing now for the last 7 months. But this chart, the strategy Bitcoin over time, is only going up and to the right. Again, unless we have that cataclysmic, which Fong Li did address, Bitcoin down to 8,000 and staying there for 5 years. Then we might have to talk about selling a coin or two. But even then, strategy has optionality to avoid that. Ben says, on social media, you'll always find those who want you to fold to their feeling of the day. Don't. Stay focused on your goals. Build and hold your own conviction. Think in years, not days. Win. And that's me. I'm focused on my goals. My goals are to acquire more shares of strategy, to acquire more Bitcoin, and then to just hold. I'm not thinking in days. I'm not thinking weeks or months. I'm thinking in years, and I'm even thinking in decades. And I want Ben to end this right here. He wanted us to know that with Bitcoin, it's a matter of when we win, not if. Slowly at first, then all at once. And of course, I had to reply there and let him know that it's inevitable, because I truly believe that it's inevitable. So with Bitcoin, it's a matter of when we win, not if. Slowly at first, then all at once. So just stay in the game, my friends. And we have a great clip by Michael Saylor coming up as soon as we get back from thanking our sponsors. When you want more, start your business with Northwest Registered Agent and get access to thousands of free guides, tools, and legal forms to help you launch and protect your business all in one place. Build your complete business identity with Northwest today. Northwest Registered Agent has been helping small business owners and entrepreneurs launch and grow businesses for nearly 30 years. They are the largest registered agent and LLC service in the U.S. with over 1,500 corporate guides, real people who know your local laws and can help you in your business every step of the way. Build your business identity fast with resources, forms, and step-by-step guides even before creating an account. Sign up to manage your business hub with lawyer-drafted documents. Northwest is your one-stop resource, makes life easy, and keeps privacy automatic, never selling data anywhere. Don't wait. Protect your privacy, build your brand, and get your complete business identity in just 10 clicks and 10 minutes. Visit www.northwestregisteredagent.com/JLD free and start building something amazing. Get more with Northwest Registered Agent at www.northwestregisteredagent.com/JLD free. Scams and identity theft do not start with hackers. They start with your personal data being easy to find online. Your home address, phone number, and employment history can be sitting on dozens of websites right now, waiting to be used for fake loans, targeted scams, or worse. That information is spread across people's search pages, shady directories, and commercial databases you've never even heard of. That's where Incogni comes in. Instead of spending hundreds of hours manually opting out of these sites, Incogni automates the entire process. They hunt down your data and demand its removal. Incogni doesn't just do this once. They continuously monitor these sites in the background to make sure your data doesn't reappear. I recommend the unlimited plan because when something isn't covered automatically, Incogni's custom removals feature lets you send in a specific link and a dedicated privacy expert takes care of the manual removal for you, start to finish. Remember, if they can't find you, they can't use your data against you. Take your data back risk-free with Incogni's 30-day money-back guarantee. Use code MSTR for 60% off an annual plan at incogni.com/MSTR. That's INCOGNI.com/MSTR.
You're not going to put that in Bitcoin. You're going to put that in, right now, you're going to put it in a money market. And in the US, it'll give you about 3% after tax. But in Japan, it's going to give you 25 basis points after tax. In Switzerland, it's going to give you minus 50 basis points. The entire yield curve in Switzerland is negative out to 4 years. In Europe, it's going to be 200 basis points, maybe. So you've got how much? 30, 40, 50 trillion dollars tied up in treasury instruments and money markets and the like between Japan, Europe, Switzerland, Canada, the US. 30 trillion in the US alone. They can't stand the vol. They want you to strip the vol. They want you to strip the interest or the yield duration off the instrument. Just give them pure spread. So what is the closest thing to kerosene that we can produce in this industry? It's basically pure yield. Something like we created with Stretch, it's like if you can just strip away the current, I live in Japan and I like the 400 basis point treasury, but I can't stand the US dollar risk. I can't stand the currency risk. Strip away the currency risk, strip away the duration risk, strip away the volatility, strip away the credit risk, give me liquidity, right? Serve it up to me in some sort of credit instrument. And, take Metaplanet, they're sitting on billions of dollars of Bitcoin. If they can open up the credit side of that trade and they can sell Meta yield at 5 or 6% in JPY, they'll be arbitraging 50% US dollar ARR versus 5% in the yen, and they capture the 45% spread, right? Which is, to say they're getting 90% of the economic gain is an understatement. They're getting 100% of the economic gain up front. They're getting 90% in the first increment, compounding exponentially. So when you set up that instrument, you're getting like 95% of the economics, right? And so when you think about what is the opportunity here, everywhere in the world, you need treasury companies. Why? Because you're creating the high quality credit. And what credit? Well, you can create that pure yield product and you can sell it direct retail, go to the retail like sort of we're doing. You could also create that product and partner with the largest bank in Switzerland, and you could power their treasury. Well, B of A is running treasury for $1 trillion or something. So what if you actually power the treasury of another bank and you become a B2B player? So a company could pursue a strategy where they create the yield and they create the return or the credit instrument, but they sell it through a bank. Well, how many banks are there? 25,000 banks. There's 25,000 people to sell it to. Well, what else? Insurance companies and annuity companies. There's companies that have hundreds of billions of dollars and they're on the hook for annuities. Open up a pipe to the annuity company or the pension fund and you just sell the yield directly through. You could do that as well. Also the insurance business, right? And so when I look at this, people go, well, how much room is there for Bitcoin treasury companies? Some dude says, why would you want to buy a hamburger on the Upper East Side for $40 when I'll sell you a hamburger for $3 in Kansas? Well, because I don't live in Kansas. That's not, okay, well, so I guess there's room for one restaurant in New York. Well, what about the people downtown? What about the people who live in Tokyo that want to eat, right? The truth is there's a lot of room for restaurants. There's a lot of room for how many banks? 5,000 banks in the US. There are 25,000 banks in the US 80 years ago or 100 years ago. So 100 years after they're obsolete, there's still 5,000 of them, right? There will be thousands and thousands of treasury companies, just like there's thousands of insurance companies, thousands of funds, thousands of banks. And why will they exist? They will exist because the risk-free fiat credit rate is 50 basis points in Japan and minus 50 basis points in Switzerland and 200 basis points in Europe and 400 basis points in the US, going to 300 basis points soon. And the world wants 10%, right? And who wants 10%? Everybody. Okay, so the real issue is, how are you going to wrap it? How are you going to construct it? I want it to run on my rails. You can buy Stretch on NASDAQ brokers, but you can't buy Stretch on Robinhood. Okay? How do you get the security to go down the rail? It's kind of like, yeah, I got a hamburger, it's $3, but how do I buy it in London when the hamburger is getting served up in San Francisco? The distribution matters, the container matters, the compliance matters, the marketing matters, right? I mean, do they like you? Do they trust you? So, when I think about Bitcoin treasury companies, I'm like, well, do you have the management team? Do you have a strategy? There's 1,000 strategies, 1,000 ways to do this. Do you have a focus? Do you have a capital market, right? Orange BTC is coming public in Brazil. They'll be the first company that's where the capital structure has been designed to be elastic to support ATMs and the like in that capital market. So constructing the company with the strategy in the right capital market is important. But it goes without saying there's going to be a monster treasury company in every capital market. It won't be us in Japan. It'll be Metaplanet, most likely, right? There'll be a monster in every capital market, but that doesn't mean there isn't room for 100 other very successful companies in every major capital market. You ask the question, how much capital is there? How much financial repression is there? Right? And I'm not going to go and issue credit instruments in Turkey because the rate's like 46% or something. I'm not going to go there first. I'm going to go and issue credit instruments, where a 10% seems like a screaming home run. What's the second best? There is no second best.